Take off the bra, pour a drink. Life's too short. What do you think? We're ditching the rules, turning up the fun. After 50, babe, we've just begun. No filters, no fear. Sipping cocktails, crystal clear. Laughing loud, living free. It's time to own your destiny. You're a braless lush, living bold. Stories untold, dreams unfold. Sip it up, let loose, be free. This is your time, can't you see? No more people pleasing, no more second guessing. We're talking life, love, laughs, and all the shit they don't mention. So grab a glass, grab a friend, let's shake it up till the very end. No regrets, just one big rush. Welcome to the Braless Lush.
God, I love that song. Hey, hiya, toots. Welcome to the Braless Lush podcast, where we literally and figuratively unhook the bra, toss the Spanx, silence our inner critic, and finally say screw it. This is Laura, your Braless bestie and your unhooked host, coming to you from the Lush Lounge. What's the Lush Lounge, you ask? Come on over. If you're on YouTube, you're seeing it live and in color. Very retro, very cool. We've got a martini cart here. I even have a martini, a chocolate martini next to me. We've got a leg lamp and a neon sign that says Lush Lounge. So this is vintage 40s, 50s flair, which is what I'll be bringing to you. I'm in a pinup outfit with a polka dot skirt, black and white, with a hot pink top. And ladies, the shoes, these are bar stool shoes only. Polka dots, about 4 inches. But aren't these beautiful shoes? Aren't they cool? Ladies over 50, this is where we unhook the bra, literally and figuratively, and unleash our lush selves. If you're over 50 and you feel like the best parts of you are just waking up, then dollface, you are in the right damn place. And if you're under 50 in 5-0 training, as I like to say, you are welcome to join us in this journey to Bralessville. So, why did I start the podcast? Well, in 2020, I turned 50. And yep, we all know what was going on in 2020. Lockdowns, lots of time to think. I woke up one morning and menopause was at its worst. Not that it's still great now. And I have a business as a freelancer. And boy, I was still trying to come back from the COVID fallout and the uncertainty in the economy. And it all factored into this, oh crap, the clock is ticking and life is short. And wait a minute, is this it? Is this all there is? I knew I wasn't alone. I've had conversations with women who are tired of playing small, tired of being invisible, tired of being polite about their pain or their dreams. So many women in our age group are still raising kids, caring for parents, or even grandkids. I want to laugh with you, cry with you, and raise a damn glass with you while we figure out what reinvention really looks like after 50. And I want to learn from all of you out there who have ditched the bra and the bullshit, and you are living your best lives despite the daily responsibilities and challenges. We know those don't go away. But you know, you can't wait for when this happens, then I can do this. We know that someday doesn't come along, and you need to start living your lush. What do I mean by that? Your lush is that thing that fills you up, that inspires you, that thing you crave, that's something you want so badly, whether it's starting that business or writing that book, traveling, the new hobby, having that cup of coffee and some damn peace for once in a while, just for half an hour. You deserve to have those moments. You owe it to yourself. to make even the smallest of steps. I know it can sound really difficult, but time is a ticking, and we need to take advantage of this time. So you can do it. And here's even the kicker. I've been sitting on this podcast idea for over a year and a half. So why didn't I do it sooner? Well, I thought I needed to do all these things first so that I could start with a clean slate with nothing going on. Clean the house first, clean out the basement, organize the file cabinet, get my life in order before I could do the things that light me up. Well, everybody, I'm going to be 55 in September. It makes my teeth hurt sometimes to even think about it, but I'm finally embracing this after 50 thing. Half a century we're here, and we deserve to find that fuck it factor. That's right, I said it, that fuck it factor after 50 and get out of your head. I told myself I need to get out of my head. Now is the time. So here I am with you, and let's work together so that we can all live our lush. Now, let's talk about this name, the Braless Lush. You're probably thinking, really, Laura, where in vintage heaven did you even find this name or think of it? So let me tell you, it's not about drinking necessarily, though if you're sipping something fabulous, I support that. Do you see this martini here? That's not a fake drink. That's a for real, show enough, straight up chocolate martini. And there's a story behind it. But Lush, again, is about fullness and boldness and pleasure and permission. I was grieving the loss of my dad back in 2023. And the firsts are hard. I'm sure at some point, especially after 50, we're experiencing what that means. And my mom and I decided that we would go to this resort in Wisconsin. I live outside of Chicago. And we went there for Thanksgiving. We didn't want to stay home. So we went up to Wisconsin to the Ostoff, yes, Ostoff resort. And we got up there the day before Thanksgiving, got there in the afternoon, got into our cute little 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo with a kitchen and a living room and cable and all of that. And we watched some Hallmark movies. Of course, that's what you do, right? We had a beautiful view overlooking the woods. It had snowed a little. It was lovely. We ordered some food and then we relaxed a little bit. And then my mom said, I think I'd like to go down to that bar in that nice big great room, the one with the fireplace and the deer head over the fireplace and just a really cozy room. So I said, okay. And she says, my mother's like 5 foot and she's tiny. And she says, but I already took off my bra. No one will know that I'm not wearing a bra. And so I said, oh, okay, fine. So we go down to this bar and we both order chocolate martinis. And we're enjoying ourselves and we're talking to some of the people who are at the hotel and just enjoying the view and the coziness. And before you know it, my mom has this martini glass in her hand and she's enjoying a sip here, a sip there. Well, before you know it, she was done with it. And she had the martini glass so far tipped back because she was determined to get every little bit of that chocolate sauce at the bottom of the glass. And I said, look at you, you big lush. I said, not only are you a big lush, but you're a braless lush. And that is how the name was born. Maybe you expected something else. Maybe it's anticlimactic, but it is my mother's fault. And that's how it came to be. Because even before that trip, I had it in my head that I wanted to do a podcast for women over 50 because I figured if I'm thinking all these things about being 50 and how difficult it can be, and reinvention. And maybe I want to do something different. Maybe I want a different business. Maybe I want to dress up in vintage pinup and be on YouTube with all of you doing a podcast. And so, yes, again, those of you who aren't watching on YouTube, I have a barrel roll in my head, and I have, if you've seen my logo, yes, I do wear glasses and eyelashes and all things fun and girly because that's how I am. But maybe you're saying, what the hell am I doing with my life? What brings me joy? What doesn't? Who am I outside of being the mom, the caregiver, the fixer, the mom who's running around with kids with travel ball, or maybe you're taking parents to doctor's visits every week and you're neglecting your own health and your own story. But I don't want you to think you have to do that. Even making the smallest of steps is amazing and steps to living a lush life. So that's the story of the podcast name, but it does have a deeper meaning. It's about freedom. And for me, if we're talking in bra metaphors, I don't want to be pinched, pulled, or propped up for anyone's expectations anymore. I want to let it all hang out figuratively and sometimes literally. Let's face it, ladies, you get home from somewhere and oh, no, no, there's no wearing a bra in the house. You feel me? I think so. But we'll talk more about the 5 signs you might be a braless lush. But it is not the time to act small. We are not shrinking violets. This is not the time to tiptoe into our later years. This is the time to get loud. Hey, you want to wear sequins to the grocery store? Go right ahead. You want to start that business, leave the job, say no to the crap we hate, and yes to whatever sets our soul on fire? Are you writing the book? Is that hobby out there that you'd like to start and give it a shot? So many women over 50 have been taught to just disappear. Let's face it, in the media, in Hollywood, we're starting to see a bit of a revolution of women actresses sticking up for themselves, getting amazing parts. But there's still ageism in the workplace. But more and more women are out there on TikTok, on Instagram, out there on the reels, showing the world that after 50, after 60, after 70, 80, and even 100, that it doesn't stop after 50. It just does not. We are here to show up, be bold, and be unstoppable. And that is what I want for you. So let's think about it. You think you're too late to start something bold? Think again. Let's do a little name dropping here. Viola Davis, the actress, she didn't land her first Oscar worthy film role until she was 43. Julia Child, everybody. I have a copy of The Art of French Cooking. Do you? She published that book at 50, first edition. Vera Wang was a figure skater and a journalist before becoming a designer in her 40s. Grandma Moses, everybody, the painter, she started in her 70s. Iris Apfel, if any of you saw her in her reels, she was amazing. She became a global fashion icon in her 80s. And these women didn't miss a moment. They created it for themselves. Think about the life that you want. And I know that, again, we have responsibilities every day of our lives. We can't just say bye, but can you take some of those things that you have been thinking about doing and start gaining momentum? Even if it's just that one little thing. Take the online course, read the book, listen to the podcast, listen to the audiobook, whatever it is, or you just learn to say, sorry, this time is for me. Now, what are those 5 signs that you might be a braless lush? And there's many, but these are just some examples. Okay, number 1, You are a woman and a rebel over 50, marching to the beat of your own drum or tambourine or whatever you want to go ahead and beat on the corner, that this is who you are, loud and proud. Maybe you're feeling a little antsy or unsettled, or I like to use the word restless. Maybe you're feeling restless and you just feel like there has to be something out there and you are looking for some new thrills and challenges. Like last year, for instance, I took a kayak class for the first time and I loved it. Now, getting in and out of the kayak was a little challenging, but it's something I always wanted to do, and I did it, and I almost bought kayaks, but they are kind of a lot of work to handle, but just a delightful hobby, so I'll probably rent them when it comes time now that the weather's nice, but it's just a matter of just trying that one thing to start building the momentum. Third one, your inner compass is nudging you towards uncharted territories, and maybe you're feeling like the fearless boss you truly are. Do you ever think in your head like, I am amazing. I am this lady boss of my life and I need to start acting like it. I think about it all the time. What am I missing? Why am I not nudging towards the ideal place that I'd like to be in life? And you get stuck in your head, ladies. That is what happens. You get stuck in your head. And we tell ourselves all these lies and they are not true. And don't assume you think that someone's looking you up and down thinking, "Oh, well, look at her. She's put on a few pounds." You know what? I thought about it for like a second. I'm not a tiny girl, and I was tinier though 10 years ago. But you know what? I am grateful for the body I have. It keeps me ballroom dancing because that's been my hobby since 2011. I just did it one day. I was working for an advertising agency and I was burned out, working till 7 every night. And there was a ballroom studio not too far away from my job. And I went and observed a couple of group classes, and the teacher said, "What do you think?" And I said, "I think it's great." And he was a teacher who taught private lessons. And he said, "Well, what do you think you want to do next steps?" And I said, it was 9 o'clock at night at that point. And he said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Well, what are you doing now?" And he said, "I was just going home." I said, "Would you like to do a lesson?" And he said, "Sure." And Alex and I danced together for a very long time. I performed all these beautiful ballroom dances and cha-chas and foxtrots, and it just has been the best hobby. So even something like that you want to do, start with a group lesson. You don't have to buy the Swarovski crystals and the dresses. You don't have to do that. Just start. Okay, next one. You are ready to dive headfirst into the unknown and shout, "It!" loud and proud after hitting the fabulous 50. It took me a while to embrace it, but I am there and I am happy to be there with all of you. But bottom line, you are just ready to unleash the wild side, let it all hang out, and live your lush. And sure, a lush might enjoy a martini like I have here, but you're also lush with curiosity and lush with dreams and lush with spirit. Again, what is that thing that fills you up? Do you want to lush on? You got to go for it, everybody. Ladies, you have to go for it. The braless part, well, that's about liberation. You want to shake up a martini without a bra? See what fun that is. You got a husband, partner, he might like that. But from what we've been told, it's all about the shoulds, who you should be, what you should do, who you should be with, what you should do for a living, how you should act in front of family. We're raised to be good girls, at least I was, especially in our Gen X generation and boomers and from generations past. It's so true. But now's the time to be a grown ass woman, wear what we want, do what we want to do, live how we want to live. And again, we have obligations, but it can be done. And now is your time. You're not too late. You're just right on time. You've got seasoning, scars, and sass. And you know what you want. You just haven't admitted it to yourself yet. So this is the season where you stop asking for permission and start asking better questions. Like, what do I want to feel more of? What would make me feel lush? Hey, maybe it's some great pair of satin pajamas or some amazing slippers or some cool shoes like these barstool shoes here that I'm wearing. And bottom line, ask yourself, what the hell am I waiting for? So think about that. And here's some starters. Ditch the shoulds. Write down every should in your head and then burn it. That's right. I said burn it. You got a fire pit, burn it. Do you have just a little dish, a candle in a dish? Light that piece of paper and just put it in a dish and let it go. Things like you should be thin, you should be married, you should be selfless. Should. And all the shoulds do, you should on yourself. Do not should on yourself, ladies, and it equals shame. You should not be ashamed for saying no to the shoulds. Just toss it and throw it away. Again, there are some obligations, but I would bet you there are some shoulds that you don't have to do. Next thing, create for yourself a weekly, let's call it a me first hour, where 1 hour a week is just for you. 1 hour. 1 hour. How many hours are there in a week? You can do it. Think about all the times that you're just scrolling on the socials. And hopefully, if you scroll past my podcast, you stop and listen. But do something for yourself. That cup of coffee, read an article, read a book. If you have to clean out a drawer to make yourself feel better, but that's for you, do it. Dance. I'm a big fan. Go dance. Go to that gym class that you haven't been able to go to because you were doing all the shoulds. Another idea, journal your dreams and schedule the journaling. I did it today. I did a whole journal entry on what I see as my next business opportunity and my next house that I'd like to live in. I have all these ideas and I write them all down. And if you have ideas, ladies, for businesses or books or whatever, start writing out the list. Just keep going until you cannot stop. Do it in a minute. See how many you get in a minute. And then if you need an extra minute because your ideas are just so rich and they keep flowing, keep doing it, keep writing, and just see all the things that you'd like to be doing and just pick one. Pick the low-hanging fruit. I don't care. You want to start planning out something that's that big, hairy, audacious idea? Start planning that out. But you can do it. Say yes to one bold thing a month. What could you do once a month? Take the salsa class. Apply for the thing, whatever it is. You want some cool little part-time job. You want to take that class, the hobby. Call somebody you haven't talked to in a long time. That's an amazing thing to do, but you have to make the effort. I don't care what it is, but say yes to you. Big thing for me is overthinking. I'm a Virgo. I can overthink to death because I can be very practical. But I'm sitting here in front of you, or you're listening to me, with my pinup vintage outfit on in my Lush lounge here. And I just said, I'm going to stop thinking about it because it's been a year and a half. Because you can't build the lush life in your head, ladies. That is not progress. You can dream about it, but put it on paper and then just pick one thing. And sometimes you have to build it while you fly. You can't have the plan all perfect. I learned a long time ago in business, and I used to get yelled at from bosses. Well, not yelled at, but I used to be told by bosses, Laura, the ad for the paper. Yes, back when we bought ads for the papers. That's how old I am. But the ad for the paper isn't going to be perfect. You can't keep making changes. We just have to go. Let's go. And you know what? If there's a problem, we redirect. We make the copy tweak. We change the picture, whatever it is, but you have to build it while you fly. Maybe you want to travel more, whether it's by yourself or with family or your partner, with girlfriends. You want to do more girls' trips because now you're an empty nester, let's say, and your friends are empty nesters. Go do it. Maybe it is going to the gym more. And we hear all this about lifting heavy. Well, I don't recommend lifting heavy until your muscles have been conditioned to lift heavy. So I don't expect you to just go out there and start pumping the iron. But maybe that's something you want to do. And maybe that means you get a trainer. Maybe you follow a certain exercise expert and you start that way. Maybe it's wearing better lipstick. I don't wear red lipstick that often, but I am wearing red lipstick for you today. And maybe it's just 30 minutes with a good book, whatever that is, whether it's motivational, a biography, or smut. I don't care what it is. Just take the time for yourself and pursue joy on your own terms. It doesn't have to be bungee jumping. It doesn't have to be this big grandiose plan. It really doesn't. You just have to pursue the joy on your own terms because the clock is a moving. And I've heard more and more on TV or online some of the motivational speakers who say, think about it. You might have 20 more years, which means only 20 more Christmases, 20 more summers, 20 more birthdays for yourself, but it might only mean 5 to 10 for a parent, hopefully more, but you never know. I always say live for today. Doesn't mean you're irresponsible, but you have to think about the stuff that isn't important. The petty stuff doesn't matter anymore. It just doesn't. And that's why I am excited for you to meet some of the amazing women that I am meeting along the way in this podcast journey. There will be many. There will be women who are living life lushly. They're giving 0 Fs about what people think about them. You will meet amazing women who have figured out how to live life, live lush, and they all have thoughts about how we can do it too. Are their lives perfect? No. They persevered and pushed through and they learned, and sometimes we learn later in life that you just have to go and say, screw it, I'm doing for me. I am so excited to have women in their 60s and 70s and even their 90s on the show because they're not done. They're not even close. And again, you probably have seen a lot of the reels out there of women who are doing their thing, dressing the way they want to dress. And some of it's a little out there, but they are confident. And that's a big thing. I want to learn from those ladies in their 70s and 80s. Hopefully, I'll get a guest who's 100. That would be amazing. And understand what for them is considered a lush life and what their perspectives are. We have so much to learn from women who are older than we are and lived the journey longer, and they are thriving. So, what's the one thing that you've been overthinking? Write the book, book the trip, wear the dress, Maybe you don't do any of those things, but wear a lipstick, put a little blush on, feel a little sassy, a little glamorous. Just do a little something for yourself. But in the upcoming episodes, you're going to meet these braless besties and women who have made wild, beautiful pivots after 50. If you pivoted after 50, I want to talk to you. Whether it's new businesses or new romances or new careers or even a new king, maybe. Wink, wink, winky, winky. We'll talk about all things after 50, and it's all fair play here. So, whatever you ladies are doing after 50, I want to hear about it. No shame, no judgment, just real talk from real women who are rewriting the rules. I'm in a reinvention period right now, and I'm trying to figure out what my next is. We will do it together. So, I'm happy to say that I will have a variety of experts on the show that will help us navigate through this over 50 roller coaster. That's a combination of, oh, I don't know, dumpster fire, all the way to basking in our wisdom and our accomplishments. Because if you sat down and thought about it, you have done a lot and you deserve all the credit for it. This is the Lush life, dollface, and I'm building it right alongside you. So don't just listen. I want you to join in. I want you to send me your questions and your stories and your topic requests, and send me a DM on the socials. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, but let's make this a movement and not just a podcast. So let's buckle up. And each week we're going deep with guests and stories and bite-sized lush lessons, I'm calling them, to help you live louder. So if this episode spoke to you, share it, tag me, and let's build the Braless Lush revolution together. Are you ready? Good, because we're just getting started. Your lush life isn't hiding. It's waiting for you to claim it. And next week, we're talking reinvention stories from real women who tossed out their scripts and wrote new ones from scratch. So if you would, this Braless Lush would ask you to hit that follow button. And if today something lit you up, write a review, share it. Tell your best friend who needs to hear this, because we will be doing lush life planning and I want to help you get there. I also have a Braless Lush newsletter called Unhooked. Yes, I said it. Unhooked, like your bra. It's my bold little inbox cocktail of podcast updates, some cheeky tips and lush stories, and juicy inspiration for women over 50 finding their it. And the link will be in the show notes. So stay tuned, because I'll also be mixing up cocktails along the way, or a mocktail from the Lush Lounge Tiki Bar, just like this chocolate martini here. That is the reason for the name of the show. So thanks, Mom, for not wearing a bra that day and getting all lush on me. No, she did not get inebriated, but we enjoyed our drinks. So until next time, stay wild, stay braless, and always choose lush. Cheers, ladies. This one's for you, dollface.
Welcome to the Braless Lush.